Hello, teachers. So today we're going to talk about 6 creative ideas for teaching listening. The first idea is step-by-step builder. So that's when you give instructions to your students to build an object. Maybe you can ask your students to build a Lego structure. So your students can listen to you and build the structure that you want them to build. So for example, you can tell your students to put 2x4 bricks next to each other and then maybe top it off or put on top 2x2 bricks. This is a great listening activity because it allows your students to follow precise instructions. Also, this listening activity works very well if you have young learners who are kinesthetic learners as well. The second idea is sound maze escape, and that's where you can arrange some chairs in the classroom as a maze, and then you give instructions for your students to follow while they are blindfolded. So for example, after you blindfold your students, you can tell them to go straight or maybe step to the left. Your students should follow your instructions until they get out of the maze. And to make this activity even more difficult, you can give all the instructions at once, and then you can allow your students to try to remember the instructions to get out of the maze. So this listening activity works on your students retaining some information from a listening audio or a listening text, which is of course a very important listening skill to have and develop. The third idea we're going to talk about today is sound jigsaw, and that's when you reconstruct an audio and you break it into parts and then you play those parts randomly so your students can listen to these different parts and then they can try to reorganize or order these parts. So for example, maybe you can choose a short story for your students from that great channel on YouTube. It's called the Fable Cottage, and all the videos are for free. So you can actually break it down and split it into parts using a very friendly user website called Pose. Here's an example from that short story called The Bear and the Bee from that channel I just talked about, which is called The Fable Cottage. So first you can play those different parts.
Everybody knows that bears love honey. One day, Mr. Bear looks in his cupboard and he can't find any honey, Mrs. Bear. Also, we have honey in the cupboard. It's behind the flower. Moral: a hot temper always gets you into trouble.
And then you can divide your students into groups, and together they can try to put those pieces together to complete the story. This is another great listening activity because it works on developing your students' sequential comprehension when they listen to an audio. So these were 3 interesting ideas for teaching listening. And if you're interested to know the other 3 ideas and even many more ideas, you can attend our free training session on how to teach listening next Friday on the 20th of December. You can sign up for free by using the link in the first comment below. And as always, if you found this video useful, please share with as many teachers as you can so they can benefit as well. And don't forget to check some of our other videos. And if you're interested to know more about our courses and training sessions, please visit our website.